Hey guys, it's been a super crazy morning, and I actually tried to do a live stream on my Substack earlier talking about this topic, and it got all messed up for reasons, but those reasons thankfully have passed, and so I do want to do a quick video to try to talk about this again, because this is a question I get all the time from normal people. Why don't conservative influencers share your work? Why aren't they sharing this? Why aren't they talking to you? Why aren't you talking to them? Why aren't you working with them? Why aren't you working with this person, that person, the other thing? I'm gonna explain it to you. I'm gonna explain it really, really simply. Some of you became familiar with me in 2020 when I was on all these big shows and I was all over conservative media, and I was lifted up as the leftist darling the Democrat who left the left after going through a Trump rally. The reason I was on all those shows is because I was politically useful to them at the time. I was being used. I was carted around and held up as a symbol as the Democrat who left the left. And we don't mind that she has crazy hair, and we don't mind that we don't like her look, and that she doesn't agree with all our talking points, because she is the symbol of the Democrat who left the left. That was the entire year of 2020 for me. That was when a lot of people found me. Now, a lot of people have found me since then, and they're very confused about why conservatives don't share my work. The reason conservatives don't share my work is manyfold. So first off, after 2020, when I got sick of being used by them as some sort of symbol, I kind of pieced out and I left, and I started talking about all the things that I didn't like about the conservative right and the MAGA movement. People think that because I study the left, that means I'm automatically conservative and on the right, and that is just not true either. Nothing could be farther from the truth. I'm deeply critical of conservatives, mostly because I think that most conservative influencers and most conservative politicians and most conservative personalities, all the people that you know the big names of, I think they're all frauds. Or mostly frauds. Maybe not all frauds, but mostly frauds. And they're not actually interested in defeating the left. They're not actually interested in solving the problem. They're not actually interested in doing anything productive. They are interested in being famous and having status and having the right image and having the right brand and maybe one day running for office and being in Congress and then doing nothing in Congress. You want to know why conservative politicians never do anything? It's because they don't have to. It is not about doing something. It is about having a brand and an image and the right suit and the right friends and being part of the right clique and being invited to the right fundraisers, darling. I never played that game. Or I shouldn't say never. I played it in 2020. I played it in a little tiny bit in the first half of 2021 when I was still kind of transitioning away. The reason I played it in 2020 is I said, okay, Karlyn, you need to put your personal inclinations aside and you need to look at the bigger picture. And at the bigger picture in 2020, I thought that getting Donald Trump was elected was the right thing. And so that was what I was working on. And I put a lot of my stuff on the back burner to be able to support a larger mission. And so I was playing their game in 2020. I even played their game a little bit in 2021. There was some fundraising I did. There were some rallies I did and stuff like that. I was still playing their game. At some point, I got sick of playing the game, and I got sick of taking the narrative talking points and using them, and I got sick of not being able to talk about the things I wanted to talk about and saying the things I want to say. Now, years later, 5 years later, I am considered to be too unpredictable, too unstable, I get in too many fights with people. And what they mean when they say that I'm unpredictable and unstable and I get in too many fights is I refuse to follow the talking points that they want me to follow. I go to the truth. Now, the truth might be flattering to them. The truth might be unflattering to them. The reality is, conservatives like to tell this lie about me. They say, she's just so unstable. She's so unpredictable. We don't know what she's going to say. No, I'm one of the most consistent people on the internet. If you look at my entire track record, I am incredibly consistent with my positions. I'm incredibly consistent with the things that I say. I'm consistent even to the point where if I change my mind about something because I'm taking in new information and I'm learning and I'm growing, which is what human beings are supposed to do, by the way. If I change my mind about something, I will say, I used to think this and now I think this, and this is why I changed my mind for reasons X, Y, B, and Z. But if I don't change my mind about something, I am incredibly consistent. The positions that I held 5 years ago are the same positions that I'm holding today. So it's not a matter of predictability. I'm incredibly predictable, actually, because I say what I mean and I mean what I say. And I don't make stuff up depending on what the approved talking point is at the time. Most of your influencers do. If you are on the right and you are listening to influencers or big personalities, most of them follow the approved narrative that is being shilled at that time. And let me tell you what, I've been in their machine. I will tell you flat out. They make it very clear what you're supposed to say and what you're not supposed to say. And if you say the things you're not supposed to say, you're going to get a little bit of punishment and you're going to get a little bit of pushback. And then if you keep saying the things you're not supposed to say, like I have and like countless others have, I'm not the only person this has happened to by a long shot. If you consistently say the thing that they don't want you to say, they're going to run around saying, she's unpredictable, she's crazy, she's mentally ill, she just fights with everyone, and she has stupid hair, and she's fat, and she's this and that and the other. Is any of that true? My work speaks for itself. You can look at my work and see for yourself what you think. I put all my evidence out there on the internet. I stream 6 days a week. I'm in the middle of a 2-day undercover infiltration into a massive leftist event that most conservatives don't even know is happening. People should be able to look at my work and judge for themselves. Conservative influencers trade in gossip and innuendo and brand and clout and image and all this stuff, darling. And that is why they don't share my work. And that is why you will not see me on the shows. Now, what can we do to change that? Because there is something that we can do to change that. You know, I was talking with someone just yesterday where they were like, Karlyn, I'm just one person. I'm just an average person. I can't do anything about this, but this person really wants me to go on shows. This person wants me to talk to people like Tucker Carlson and Joe Rogan. And I'd be open to it, but they have to invite me. And that's exactly what I said. I was like, you know, I'll talk to people that are interested in listening, but they have to invite me. And they said, well, I'm just one person. What can I do? I'm going to tell you guys what you can do to change this. If you really want conservatives to talk about my work, if you really want to see me on these shows, you have to show up and support my work and get it out there and help us build a platform that is undeniable. What I mean by that is, go tell your friends about my work. Go tell your community about my work. Bring me to speak to your community group. I will do it. I will zoom into anywhere in the country. We'll do a presentation. I will show you content from real leftist trainings. I will break it down. I will explain it. I'm going to be doing a big push to do more of that stuff this year to get my work out there. You can bring me to your community group to talk to them. Let's start there. Let's start there. Don't worry about getting me on the big shows. The big shows are going to respond when the people respond. When the people show up and they are engaging with this work and they are sharing this work and they are going, and you can go, and any single person can go into someone's replies and go, why aren't you sharing this? Why aren't you sharing this? Why aren't you sharing this? Why aren't you talking to her? Why aren't you talking to her? Why aren't you talking to her? Every single one of you can do this. Every single one of you. And let me tell you, I know for an absolute fact, there is no doubt in my mind that conservative influencers read every single effing reply they get on Twitter. They may not respond to it. They may not like it. You may not get any indication that they've read it, but they read every single response they get on Twitter. Every single one. They read all their emails. They read all of this stuff. Okay. And so you as a normal person, you think you don't have any power, but you do. You can get on Twitter or X or whatever we're calling it now, and you can reply to them and say, why aren't you sharing Karlyn's work? Why aren't you sharing Karlyn's work? Get on Twitter, send me a DM. I will add you to my group chat where we coordinate sharing my work. And what I mean by coordinating is anytime I post something, I post a link to the group chat, and then people in the group chat get to decide if they want to share it or where they want to share it or how they want to share it. We're not talking about a strategic operation. We're just talking about, you know, you can be added to a group chat where you get updates about my work, and then you can decide what to do with it. And one of those things you can decide to do is to go into the feeds of your favorite conservative influencers and go, share her content, look at her content, and be annoying to them. But more importantly than that, guys, and I don't mind annoying people who are only interested in brand and image. Like, don't get it twisted. I don't mind annoying and haranguing these people to the ends of the earth, because these people are not authentic. They don't actually care about any of this. All they care about is brand and image. So the best thing we can do is get my work out there. Again, share it to your friends, share it to your family, bring people to my streams, show people my content, show people my articles. Help me build an audience. Help me build an audience not only of free members, because that's really the biggest thing, is like anyone can come and watch my content, but help me build an audience of paid supporters, people who have skin in the game, people who are funding my work for $8 a month, $80 a year over on the Substack, Karlyn, Karlyn.substack.com. Help me build an unstoppable platform. We're so close, guys. We really are. We are so fucking close. We're like right there. This is not a big hike up a giant ass mountain. We have already hiked up the mountain. I already have a wonderful community of supporters. I already have an engaged platform. Like we are so effing close to being able to actually exert pressure on these people who literally only care about image and influence, and that is it. But you guys have to show up. This is the key to this. I cannot willpower my way into this. You guys have to show up. And if you think this is important, if you actually want me on these shows, the only thing that these people respond to is power and brand and image. And oh my God, her platform, her audience. So we have to build an undeniable platform. We have to build an undeniable community of people who are out there pushing this content. And guess what? I'm not going to be like, listen, man, like obviously I say edgy things on Twitter sometimes, but the majority of my content on the internet is focused on my work. And I have to believe if I have enough people out there talking about this and showing people this, then at some point, if people are curious about what's going on and they are ready to overlook the gossip and the smear campaigns that have all been directed at me by the conservative right, they've all come from the right. None of this stuff has come from the left. I have people on the right that have been smearing me literally for 4 straight years, almost every single day. But if we put this stuff out there and we build an undeniable community, then they're going to have no choice. So you want me on your favorite shows? You want me talking to your favorite influencers? Get involved in the community. Share my work out to your friends and family. Bring me to talk to your groups. Help me grow this to an undeniable degree where they have no effing choice but to listen to us. That's when we get this content out there. So I can't do that without you. I need your help. Head over to the Substack, sign up for free updates. If you can afford to fund my work, please fund my work. Thank you to everyone who's signed up on the Substack recently. I'm really appreciative of the people stepping up and joining the Substack as a supporter because I am 100% funded by you, and we need to keep it that way. We need to keep this politically independent from these right-wing shills who only care about image and brand and clout and da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da. F them. They don't care about things that are important. They're not smart enough to understand our work to begin with most of the time. Some of them are, some of them aren't. Anyway, I got to head into day 2 of Spy Stream. Come join us for our Spy Stream today. You can find the information on the Substack or local supporters, Patreon supporters, YouTube channel members, Twitter subscribers. And I will see you there, and we will be there all day. So come and pop into the link and join us for the show. All right, guys, take care. We'll see you soon.